Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of What Does It Take to Play? Previously I looked at what kind of hardware gamers need to play Battlefield 1 multiplayer at 1080p, maintaining over 60 FPS at all times. The focus here is on new hardware, so I went with the Core i5-6400 and the Radeon RX 470, and that combo delivered some very impressive results. Again, for those of you that missed the first episode, the point of this series is to quickly show gamers in 5 minutes or less what kind of hardware they need to achieve the set performance criteria. An overwhelmingly large number of you asked me to look at the Overwatch multiplayer performance next, specifically what it takes to play the game at 1080p on a 144Hz monitor using the ultra quality settings. So here we are. As many of you are probably aware, it doesn't take much to render this game at playable frame rates, even when using the Ultra preset. However, for competitive 144Hz setups, maintaining those kinds of frame rates can be a challenge. Not only do gamers require a decent GPU, but the CPU is also very important in enabling and maintaining these high frame rates. I have found in the past that the GeForce GTX 1060 6GB is good for around 150 FPS at 1080p with the ultra quality settings. It's worth noting though that this performance was recorded using my Core i7 test system overclocked to 4.5 GHz. So telling you guys to get a Core i7 6700K or 7700K along with a GTX 1060 6GB probably isn't that useful. I mean, if that's what it takes, sure, but simply going out and buying the fastest LGA 1151 processor isn't that creative. Anyway, as it turns out, there is a cheaper option. I have found that the 6600K or 7600K is the sweet spot. They are essentially the same processor and both cost $240 US. Actually, in Australia, the 7600K right now is about $10 cheaper, so you might as well go that way. The 7600K is faster out of the box thanks to a slight frequency bump, but of course these are unlocked K models, so the out-of-the-box frequency is kind of irrelevant. Clock for clock both deliver the exact same performance, as Kaby Lake offers 0 IPC gains over Skylake. For testing, I have used the 7600K and overclocked it to a very mild 4.5 GHz. This was done in my Corsair sponsored rig, so I was using a liquid cooler, but this overclock can easily be achieved using a $30 tower style cooler, for example. Since this is an unlocked processor, you will want a Z series chipset. Z170 boards can be had for as little as $90 US or 110 Aussie. Meanwhile, Z270 boards are around 20% more expensive, and they don't really offer anything in the way of new features, but they're certainly an option anyway. So then, with the Core i5-7600K processor overclocked to 4.5 GHz and the GeForce GTX 1060 6GB graphics card handling the rendering work, I found that for the most part this configuration had no trouble keeping the frame rate above 144 FPS. Full disclaimer, I am completely rubbish at Overwatch. I never play the game as unfortunately I just don't have time. It seems like a heap of fun though, and at this point I've only worked out a couple of the characters. Still, I had a heap of fun over the weekend playing this game, and I went through most of the maps and found that this configuration delivers the perfect balance of price versus performance for 144Hz 1080p gamers. I suspect an unlocked Core i5 processor going all the way back to say the Sandy Bridge 2500K will be able to achieve similar performance once overclocked. Gamers will require a GTX 1060 6GB graphics card though, or something of, similar performance such as the GTX 980. Back when I first tested Overwatch, I threw more than 40 different GPUs at the game, and I found the R9 390X was slightly slower than the 1060, and therefore so was the RX 480. It really took the Nano to push ahead. Nvidia does have a clear performance advantage in this title. Finally, as a side note, for those of you who may be wondering, this setup rendered between 100 and 140 FPS with the quality preset set to Epic. So not quite good enough to max out a 144Hz display, but still certainly enough for smooth competitive gameplay. Right, so that wraps this one up. I hope you guys enjoyed the Overwatch 1080p 144Hz testing. And if there are any other games you would like me to check out, be sure to drop that in the comments below. Just be sure to let me know what the frame rate target is, the quality settings, and the resolution. And I'll do my best to make that happen. I'm your host, Steve. Have fun gaming.
The objective is now active.
Hello. My ultimate is charging. Greetings.